I came to check on my big, beautiful home. Look at this thing. 417 Central. It has still not gone under contract, and I have still not found some silly man to trick into marrying me so that I can own it. Diamonds are a girl's best friend, but deeds are forever. Let me show you in this house a unicorn. A unicorn called a basement. Now, to you out-of-towners, basements are a fact of life. Anyone over Virginia, say. But in the South, in southeastern North Carolina, they are kind of unheard of. Scary. We live basically at sea level. If you put a shovel in the ground anywhere around Wilmington, you will hit a natural spring. This home, 417 Central, has a full basement, and this is unheard of. I'm gonna spin around so y'all can see it. Creepy, right? Yeah, nobody wants to come down into these things. It's because they're just not common. Last time I checked, there are about 60 basements throughout the Wilmington area. They're kind of a complicated thing to own down here. It is not like what we will call from this point on, in a very politically correct term, a Yankee basement. Should I light myself? I brought a little light. Because y'all don't need to see the bags under my eyes. Maybe I'll just walk and talk like, forget it, I don't care. Unlike a Yankee basement where they dig the foundation, pour the foundation, they frame it, they drywall it, you can put your pool table, your little man cave chairs, anything that you want to put down there. These basements in our historic homes, these were built by Jebediah and Abraham, who had 2 shovels and a good idea. It's different. It's not the same kind of structure. So typically you can feel the cold and sometimes the moisture coming through. This, because of the elevation, is dry, and you would see evidence of a sump pump, which I don't see here. But let's talk about what is a wet basement, because that's what we refer to our basements in this area as, and that I shouldn't have to explain what that's what it means. It's wet. Because of the water table, and because we have such high humidity, and because it rains here a lot, we get hurricanes. If you get a good rainstorm and you have one of our homes that has a basement, especially the historic homes, it's going to get wet. And that's why you would never, ever, ever, ever here want to put any of your precious belongings. Again, not like a Yankee basement. You cannot store a lot of stuff down there. The whole idea of gutters is to direct water away from the home. So if you don't have downspouts that are pointing out and like going downhill, that water will just collect and then dump right next to the foundation of the home. Well, if you have a basement and you have poor drainage, it's going to all filter in right back here, and you will experience that wet basement. If your home doesn't have the appropriate gradient, meaning the leveling of the soil sloping away from the home so that water can be carried away from the home, then it's going to seep right down, and you will experience moisture issues in your basement or in your crawl space. Now, a note about gutters. I don't know, people have seen too many commercials. Stop putting the tops with the little holes in them. In North Carolina, southeast North Carolina, we have pine trees for days. And if you see homes where they put the cover that has the holes on it to keep leaves out, it looks like their gutters have a mohawk, because all the pine needles in there and just stick up and block the gutters, and they have to go in and peel all that stuff out more than usual. So those are some of the things that could cause moisture issues in the basement. Now, at the end of the day, because again, this was old construction, there's not going to be some kind of like waterproofing membrane here unless you go in and trench out around them and put all that sort of waterproofing in, or rebuild the wall, or you can put in a French drain. And a French drain is when they establish a perimeter, they dig down about 2 feet, they put in piping, and it literally collects the water and sends it out to the road. But so there's something to consider if you are looking at any of our historic homes that have a basement, because you're not going to be able to use it like a typical basement. They really just kind of are extra space below ground. I had a basement in the Babe Cave, and I thought it was great because I could store things like paint and tools, and none of the contractors who worked on my house would go down into it because they were all local and they had never seen a basement, and they thought it was totally creepy. And that was probably a good thing, because I fantasized every single day that I owned that house about hiding their bodies down there, because every day they showed up with bad attitudes, not on time, smelling like that marijuana. There was also a freezer down there, so it probably sang the song of homicide. That's kind of what you need to know about the basement situation. I've noticed that some out-of-towners, I'm not saying Yankee because I am one, but they will ask for homes that have finished basements, and your agent is going to be like, LOL, because it's just not a reality here with our water table. And now you know what you need to know about storing things in them and maintaining them. A really smart addition, if you do get a house with a basement here, is to put in a sump pump. And a sump pump will collect the water that comes in and then bring it up with a little motor and send it back out to the yard. And when we have hurricanes and water is just coming in through all directions, that can help you maintain the foundation of your home and your basement. In the next video, we will talk about moisture in crawl spaces, which is what's up there. Every horror movie starts when some woman sticks her head in a dark, shadowy space in an old home. So we're just going to go ahead and do that. When you have an old home with those old wood floors, do you need to encapsulate that? Do you need to encapsulate the crawl space and put it in a dehumidifier? I'll tell you in the next video.